Hello? Banana phone? Said what? She ate what? I'll call you back. Hello family, hi, welcome to another video. If you're brand new here, I am Emily, otherwise known as Shamanism. You can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. Welcome. And if you're an OG returning, namaste, welcome back, thanks for being here. I wanted to recap, because it is the new year now, some things which maybe I haven't spoken about for some time. And the primary thing, which you've probably heard me speak about before, is your physical body's health. Frankly speaking, and I don't know if any people will actually tell you this blatantly other than me. Maybe some people are saying it, maybe people don't. I don't know. Truthfully, until or unless you take your health seriously or you begin to genuinely yourself look after yourself, no one's going to do it for you. And what a lot of people won't tell you is that you actually really do need to be careful with what you eat and ingest. You know, I've talked about it many times, many ways. As it's the new year, I feel re-inspired to remind you guys and encourage you again to start off this fresh year with health, with a healthy body, with a healthy mind. And that's kind of why I comically started with this here banana. I'm just going to give you some quick advice on how you can immediately start working on your health from wherever you are. 3 quick tips. We'll whittle it down to 3 for now to keep this video nice and simple and short and digestible. Literally, because we're talking food. Anyway, so no, this banana did not start this, although the telephone banana did. Okay, because. So how I got here to this subject of health and you are what you eat, which is probably what I will perhaps title this video. You may have heard that before. You are what you eat. And you may even have felt like, hey man, don't point that missile at me. Because I know if you're like me in the past, you had a pretty trashy diet. Not that you do now. You might not. You know what your vices are for you or whatever it is for you. You know, for some people that's soda. That was never a big thing for me. For some people are soda fiends. Some people are really hooked on coffee. That kind of was my thing. I wasn't hooked, but I was convinced that it was helping me and I had to come off coffee. You know, various different things for different people. But the main thing, the basis for your success in life, sincerely, if you don't have this under control, then none of the rest of what's possible will be able to fall into place unless you start with your physical temple, your body, which was why I have a banana, because fruits are the best food for a human being. And I know that you may have heard a lot of information contradicting that, and I can just tell you that over the past, gosh, I don't know, it's been since about 2017 that I've been a vegan. And I actually, if you want to hear a really just crazy tidbit about that, I actually jumped in feet for like head and feet. I jumped in whole body first without really knowing, you know, without doing any like proper research at the time when I did this, because I was so seeking health. I felt so bad that I just wanted, not just wanted, that I was lucky enough that I found somebody who could really help me. And so in the beginning of my journey, I actually went from a SAD diet, which is called SAD because it stands for Standard American Diet, which is like meat, potatoes, vegetables, milk, whatever, right? It's the whole gamut of foods. I actually went from eating that to eating only fruit for like a good whole month initially. I was really good with it at first. I don't even know how I did that because like I said, I had been eating just the standard whatever diet. And then I went to basically full fruitarian for like a full month. So anyway, what I want to pass on to you guys is the 3 most helpful tips to keep yourself healthy and to keep yourself reminded that you are what you eat, but also these things will help you to stay healthy. So the first one is minding what you literally ingest, and that's why I'm showing you, like I said, the best, doesn't really look like a smile, does it? But fruits really are one of the best foods on the planet that you can feed yourself. So one of my top suggestions, besides just generally eating mainly fruits and vegetables and water, is to eat fruit specifically, because actually I learned this bit of information from, you could call it a fat camp, but a retreat I went to many years ago. It was actually the first time I learned this. It's all well and good to hydrate. And in fact, that's my tip number 2. First tip is to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables as much as you can. Raw fruits and vegetables are preferable, but listen, at the end of the day, fruits and vegetables, that's why you will hear virtually any doctor won't go against that, because they know, everybody pretty much at this point I think knows, that fruits and vegetables are the best things for your body, generally speaking. The second thing that's important to that, which was what I was going into, is water, your water intake. And there's a whole lot of discussion about what water should I drink, and there's and there's a misconception that you can get all of your hydration from water. I mean, you sort of can, but what I learned, and this was the lesson I wanted to share with you all today specifically about water, what I was taught at this fat camp retreat thing years ago was, for the first time I'd ever heard this, and was like, what? I don't get it. You need to eat your water too. And you're like, huh? Eat my water. Okay, let me share a fun fact with you. I didn't actually learn this until recently. Your standard banana is a Cavendish variety, because I'm in America and actually mostly over the world. Fun fact, Cavendish bananas are one of the most popular. I'm not sure if that was so much intentional as just what happened. Whatever. The Cavendish banana. Ye old, amazing food, amazing staple, good for you, etc. Now, how much water would you guess is in this bad boy? 10%? 20%? 30%? 40%? What are we talking? I'll tell you, when somebody first asked me that question about a banana, or whatever brought this to my attention, I was like, bananas, they're kind of mealy. They must be more like on the starchy side, so they must not have a lot of water in them. So I figured it was like 10, 20% water. Do you want to know how much water is actually in a banana? 70 something percent. I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 70. This is mainly water still. So are you, by the way. I don't know what our percentage is either, but we and this banana are both mostly water, was the point. So at this retreat camp thing, I learned that you need to eat your water. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that it's all well and good, like I said earlier, to hydrate, and you absolutely should. Like, I am chronically not good enough at drinking like regular water. I don't know. For years it was just a struggle for me. Finally, I've gotten better at that. However, a very important factor to your overall body's hydration is eating your water. So yes, you can eat a banana, and that is 70% water. Or honestly, that's why fruits are largely so good, because they are made up of a lot of water, and also they have the single most what's the word I want to use? Like, digestible and soluble energy source, which is fructose, I think. Fructose or glucose. I'm going to get my sugars wrong here. But anyways, I will put on the screen here the correct one. I think it's fructose is the most simple sugar for our bodies to break down. And that's why fruits are so good. That's also why my other suggestion, just to kind of add in with the eating well for yourself, and to eating fruit in the morning, is because in the morning is when we've essentially been fasting over the period of the night and letting our bodies, hopefully you haven't been late night snacking and you let your body's digestion rest overnight. So the reason that fruit is the most excellent thing first thing in the morning is, well, A, because it's loaded with fructose, so it will get your body really going, and it gives it that best case scenario energy. It's like the leanest, cleanest energy that you can burn is from fruit, honestly. And I know there's a lot of misconceptions about fruit sugars out there, but I'm telling you, as someone who has so much changed their diet, these babies, there is a reason that I love fruit, and you will never hear me not talk about fruit. So step one, take care of your physical body by eating well. Eat as many fresh fruits and vegetables as you can. That's a very sincere thing. Step number two, thing number two to look out for is your hydration. And as important as it is to drink however many glasses of water a day that you can, it's also important for you to eat. This is why it's important to eat fresh, raw fruits and vegetables, because that is where, let's say a salad is great for this, because all the lettuce, let's say romaine and iceberg, honestly, lettuces in general, lettuces, leafy greens, and spinach, they have a lot of water content in them. And so they're really, really, really good for you. And I know it doesn't maybe make logical sense. Trust me though, it gives your body water in a different way. It happens like directly through the cells. The ways of your body processing and handling that water are different depending upon whether you drink a glass of water or you eat a banana or some lettuce and salad and you get the water from that. And it's just as important, like I said, you have to kind of do a balance of both, because if you're not eating enough water, you'll still be dehydrated. You won't, like, if I can impress this upon you, it's essentially that you could try to drink water until kingdom come and you may never actually become hydrated. You really need the boost from eating the water too in order to really feel hydrated. And I can also share that with more hydration, your body will feel better, because, and I don't know if you've heard this before, but with more hydration, your body just like loosens up, which is good for like literally everything, because it means that you are less likely to strain and pull muscles and break bones and things, because everything kind of has this watery cushion inside of you. It's actually, that's how our bodies are kind of meant to be, is flowing and free flowing. And my third tip is fairly obvious. It's mind your sleep. Because, and what I recently learned, I'll share a specific tip about that as it goes with sleep. A lot of people are like, well, how long should I sleep? There's this whole thing about how long should I sleep? How much should I sleep? Am I sleeping too much, too little, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of the talk out there, I think, says that ideally we humans should sleep from 5 to 8 hours a night. I can pretty much say that that's true. I also want to add this little tidbit though. Sometimes I know we find ourselves in life in these interesting positions where we have to get stuff done in an expedient fashion. So like, let's say you have a big project or something like that that you're working on. Sleep becomes so important, but here's the tip I want to share to you. If for some reason you have to, and I'm talking only in those extreme situations where you for some reason can't get a full night's sleep. Invaluable tip, seriously. If you can get yourself to be sleeping between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., if you can at least get those 2 precious hours of sleep, you will feel much better than if you haven't had any sleep. And actually, those 2 hours are the most essential, I guess you could say, crucial for us to be asleep. Don't ask me the science of it because I actually don't really know. I just know that, and since I've tested this myself, I've tried it out, like being asleep during those hours, not being asleep during those hours. When you're asleep during those hours between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., you like achieve the most restful sleep during those hours if you can be asleep during those. And that means that no matter how many other hours of sleep you may or may not have gotten, that you will feel pretty refreshed. For perhaps exam times, it's not something I really recommend doing on any kind of regular basis. If though you end up where you need to do something like that, try to make sure you at least sleep between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And again, I say that like really don't make that a habit because you need ideally like 5 hours of sleep a night minimally is really kind of healthy. Between 5 and 8 I think is actually okay. The importance of those 2 hours, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is like, if you can be asleep when you wake up the next morning, you will feel fantastic. I don't think that's just me. So those are some health tips to help you take care of your beautiful body, vessel, mental health, spirit in this beautiful year of 2025. These are 3 easy things you can do already to take care of yourself. I know that they're cliche. They are cliche for a reason because they're super powerful. So number 1, you are what you eat. So frankly speaking, if you don't want to be a burger, don't eat one. Anyway, hydrate. And remember that with hydration, you need to not just drink water, you also should eat your water. And I was going to say first and foremost, but last and last most, is that even a thing? Is sleep. Make sure that you do get enough sleep, because without enough sleep, honestly, our brains don't work the way that they should. And that's where we can, after sustained periods, get into real trouble with our health and with our, honestly, even our choices, because when our brain gets fuzzy and unclear, we make bad decisions. So if you know anyone that this video would help, please do share it to them, as I do upload every single day with the intent of helping you guys out, either mentally or physically, or with your journey along the way in your life. If you need coaching or you would like to reach out to me confidentially about your health or mental health, you can reach out at this email address here. It's also listed down below as always. And other than that, thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I'm really glad you were here, and I wish you a blessed and beautiful and happy, healthy rest of your new year. Namaste and much love. Bye. We'll settle it down. Settle it down? I wanted to recap. Fruit. Fruit? Yes, I am a fruit. Eating a fruit and fruit, but